Introduction. The miracles of Jesus are among the most powerful and awe-inspiring moments in the Bible. They not only reveal his divine nature, but also his love, mercy, and compassion for humanity. These acts were not performed for show, but to meet real needs, healing the sick, feeding the hungry, calming fears, and even raising the dead. Each miracle served as a divine sign, pointing to Jesus as the promised Messiah. Through them, people saw the power of God at work in their everyday lives. The miracles of Jesus continue to inspire faith and hope in believers across the world today. Turning water into wine. John 2:1-11. Jesus' first miracle took place at a wedding in Cana, where the hosts had run out of wine, an embarrassing situation in their culture. At his mother Mary's request, Jesus instructed servants to fill 6 large jars with water. When they drew some out, it had turned into the finest wine. This miracle revealed Jesus' divine authority and his kindness in preserving the joy of the celebration. It also symbolized the transformation he brings to our lives, turning the ordinary into the extraordinary. His action at Cana demonstrated that he values even our small needs and moments of joy. Feeding the 5,000, Matthew 14:13-21. One of Jesus' most well-known miracles was feeding a crowd of over 5,000 people with just 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. As evening approached, the disciples urged Jesus to send the crowd away, but he had compassion on them. He blessed the food, broke it, and distributed it through the disciples. Everyone ate and was satisfied, and 12 baskets of leftovers remained. This miracle showed Jesus' abundant provision and his ability to meet physical needs. It also symbolized spiritual nourishment, how Jesus is the bread of life, who satisfies our deepest hunger with truth and grace. Healing the blind man, John 9:1-12. Jesus encountered a man who had been blind since birth, and his disciples asked whose sin had caused it. Jesus replied that it was so God's work could be displayed. He made mud with his saliva, applied it to the man's eyes, and told him to wash in the pool of Siloam. The man returned seeing for the first time in his life. This miracle not only restored physical sight, but also revealed Jesus as the light of the world. It highlighted his power to heal and transform, both physically and spiritually, bringing people from darkness into light. Walking on water, Matthew 14:22-33. After feeding the 5,000, Jesus sent his disciples ahead by boat while he prayed alone. During the night, a storm struck, and the disciples were terrified. Jesus walked on the water toward them, and they thought he was a ghost. But he said, "Take heart, it is I. Do not be afraid." Peter asked to come to him and briefly walked on water before doubting and sinking. Jesus saved him, calming the sea. This miracle showed Jesus' authority over nature and reassured the disciples of his divine presence. It reminded them and us not to fear, for he is always near. Raising Lazarus from the dead, John 11:1-44. When Jesus learned that his friend Lazarus had died, he waited 4 days before visiting Bethany. Though deeply moved by the grief of Lazarus' sisters, Mary and Martha, Jesus declared, "I am the resurrection and the life." Standing before the tomb, he commanded, "Lazarus, come out!" And Lazarus emerged, still wrapped in burial cloth. This astounding miracle revealed Jesus' power over death and foreshadowed his own resurrection. It offered hope to all believers that death is not the end. Through this act, many came to believe in Jesus, and it remains one of his most dramatic demonstrations of divine power.